All right, reports are that five-star quarterback signee Julian Sayin, a guy that a lot of Alabama fans were excited to watch at Alabama, was a huge signee for them. One of the top-rated quarterbacks in the country has decided to enter the transfer portal a day after Austin Mack, a redshirt freshman, was brought over from Washington to Alabama, deciding to make that trip to Tuscaloosa. And David, listen, it's one thing to lose guys. It's another to lose the guys. And we're seeing what happened with Caleb Downs. You know, we've seen what's kind of gone on up front there at Alabama. They've lost some important pieces. Not that you're not going to lose guys, but this is big because Kalen DeBoer is an offensive guy that has had a bunch of success with quarterbacks. And I don't think this was a situation where Kalen DeBoer looked at Julian Sayin, a guy that can really spin it, and is athletic enough to run, and said, you're not good enough to play at Alabama. I think this is more of a Julian Sayin thing. And what does this say, pun intended, about Kalen DeBoer in Alabama, that they've been losing, kind of bleeding out big-time players and big-time prospects moving forward at the quarterback position? This isn't a corner. This isn't a tight end. This is a quarterback, David.
No, for sure. And Julian Sayin, the number one quarterback in the class, just signed last month. Now, he is from California. So if you were going to move all the way to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, obviously you were doing so to play for Nick Saban, the greatest head coach of all time. Having said that, I don't know how you look at the track record that Kalen DeBoer has had with quarterbacks and with offenses and say, no, that's not a guy I want to play for. No, that's not a guy who can develop me for the next level. Maybe it was already a situation where his family wanted him to stay in California. Maybe USC and Lincoln Riley's in play now. Maybe they wanted to be able to watch him stay closer to home and watch him play college football. But, when you have Nick Saban offering you a scholarship, that's what put it over the top, and he signed with him. And now that that's no longer the case, maybe it's just made it easier to stay closer to home. I don't know. Of course, Georgia's always going to be in play. I'm hearing some talks already that Michigan's going after the kid with JJ McCarthy leaving. So I don't know. It seems weird to me that you would think Kalen DeBoer is not the offensive mind who could develop you into the talent you need to be to play at the next level.
No, and I think this feeds into the biggest fear, and I think it's warranted. I think that there should be some fear, is that the cachet we know that Nick Saban has and had at Alabama is obviously massive. And the amount of guys that committed to Nick Saban, not Alabama, but to Nick Saban. If Nick Saban was at LSU, they would have gone there. If Nick Saban was at Michigan, they would have gone there. And there's never been a better time to commit to a coach rather than a place with the freedom of the transfer portal. But I think this feeds into that narrative and that fear that Bama is not Bama anymore because Nick Saban is not there. Now, that's not saying Kalen DeBoer won't win at Alabama. All right, please don't misunderstand me. Kalen DeBoer is a damn good football coach, and I expect him to have success at Alabama. But you've lost the benefit of the doubt. Or as our friend Andy Staples said, that Saban discount has expired. So all these guys that said, you know what? I may be from California. I may be from Hawaii. I may be from Nova Scotia. But I'm going to go to Tuscaloosa to play for the greatest college football coach of all time. Now that he's gone, and you know that he's irreplaceable, and that Alabama seems mortal. It's like Achilles, right? All of a sudden, they didn't dip him all the way in. How much more carnage are we going to see and fallout from losing the GOAT, who, let's face it, was Alabama football and still technically is Alabama football, until we see Kalen DeBoer do his thing? But again, David, it's positionally, it's circumstantially. This is a quarterback. This is his best dish. As a chef, this is what he cooks the best. This is his chicken parmesan, right? This is his whatever, beef Wellington. This was his go-to, and you got told by one of the top guys, right, that what you're best at, I don't want to go to Alabama to play for you. So we're going to keep an eye on this. We know how crazy the transfer portal is. I don't think Alabama fans should panic, but this shouldn't
No.
give you a lot of warm fuzzies.
Well, it hurts more optically than it does for the 2024 season. Julian
Yeah.
Sayin, like, let's face it, if you were having to start him as a true freshman in the SEC,
Mhm.
there were already going to be problems. This isn't as big of a pillar to fall as if Jalen Monroe decides to transfer. At the same time, like you said, being an offensive guy, being a quarterback developer, it doesn't look great when you lose the number one quarterback recruit.
Definitely. Well, we're going to be talking about it all next week. We're going to keep going, keeping up with the craziness of the transfer portal. We'll see what happens with some other coaching moves because that could open up some other teams to kind of be rated, like we've seen Alabama at very important positions. But like I'll tell Alabama fans, don't panic yet. Don't panic yet. There's a long way to go, and this guy's won a lot of games. Check it all out on Crane & Company.
Hey, YouTube, what's up? Thanks for stopping by. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Check us out. Roll through our videos. We drop content all the time. Turn that notification bell on as well so you can be updated when we do release it.